We always say we are here to engage, educate, and empower our broker community because you can't know everything about everything. You don't know what you don't know.
Hey, welcome back to the Accelerate Your Insurance Sales podcast. I am here with Pamela Schlotzhauer, Director of Membership,
Director of Partner Recruitment.
At United Benefit Advisors, UBA. We are at the conference here in Westminster, Colorado. But I wanted to use this episode, as a chance to bring you on, talk about, some of the things you are working on at UBA for the folks that. Actually, let's start here. For the folks who have no clue what it is, why don't you give a background of UBA, United Benefit Advisors, and its mission in health insurance?
Well, we're an organization set up differently than some of the associations that are in the space where our partners own United Benefit Advisors. So I think we're around 23 years in our longevity, and we look for partners that are independent, growing, and want to get engaged, want to learn from one another, that they're after that intellectual capital, wanting to know what others are doing in other areas, and want to also project a bigger space than they might be able to, project just being their own individual independent firm sitting in a state somewhere. They have national presence.
Yeah, I remember when I came out here to Colorado, I worked for Volk & Bell, who was a UBA member at the time before they got acquired. How about your background? How did you get in the industry? I think that's a question I'd love to ask everybody, because most of us did not get in it by the side.
Yeah, I was on the investment side, and I had actually a UBA partner tell me that I should sell group health insurance. And I said, why would I do that? I know nothing about health insurance. But long story short, I went down that road. I got my license. I started my own agency in 2009. And I grew that for about 5 years, and that was leading right into 2014 when the Affordable Care Act came to fruition. So I knew I needed to do something. I needed to either invest a lot more money into my business and have it grow, or I needed to merge with another partner. So I did that, grew that for another 5 years. That agency ended up getting sold to Alara Group, which was not, part of my plan or what I wanted. So we separated. I actually went to work for an enrollment company for a little while, and then COVID hit, and I was sitting at home like everyone else, and had another agency reach out to me and asked if I would join their benefits department. So I was there for a little while when this opportunity came up, and I knew of UBA. I knew what it meant. I understood why it existed, and I wanted to be part of it.
Yeah, and you guys have how many members today?
Right now we have around 121.
121
agencies and over 2,000 brokers.
And you said something that I think is important for others to hear. You don't own these agencies.
No.
These are just members of United.
It's a truly collaborative group. Yeah, we don't impose any captivity. We don't ask them for cuts of their commissions. They pay a membership fee to be part of UBI.
When you're looking for new partners, what are some of the traits you're looking for in an employee? First of all, this is for employee benefit.
Correct.
There's agencies here that also
they have PNC or they have wealth divisions.
What are you looking for? What are some of the ideal traits you're looking for in an agency?
Thought leaders, people that are doing things differently, want to be different, and don't really feel like they need to be exclusive. They want to learn from others. They want to share their knowledge. They want to help other independents, because we're really trying to stay competitive against the nationals and not one another. I think our partnership is amazing, how much they help each other grow and learn and work on opportunities together that they may not have had, been able to go after or capture on their own. So I really look for someone that has an abundance mentality, curious in nature, want to grow their practice, have been growing, and, kind of sky's the limit for them.
I like that you said that because even in our programs that we provide to agencies, that's a big component. No matter where you come from, you have to have that abundant mindset.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not willing to share, and I've been in plenty of groups in this industry that get awkward.
Oh, yeah.
People don't want to share, don't want to open up the
Yes.
kimono. It's hard to create any kind of value for anybody. People aren't willing
Correct.
to share.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being a UBA member, a lot of great partnerships or unexpected partnerships came out of
Mm-hmm.
these conferences like you guys host here in Colorado. What are some, I'm curious of your take, because we talked about, these are independent agencies and mergers and acquisitions continue to be a
yes.
massive part of what's going on in this industry. Now we're seeing the bigs buy the big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gallagher buys Assured Partners. Brown & Brown buys Risk Strategy. Mark McLennan buys McGriff. What are some of the things you're doing, if it can be prevented at all, to help the organizations stay independent?
Collective buying power, the deals that we're able to negotiate for preferred bonus programs. Just at this conference, we're rolling out some AI that is going to be a collective purchase for us, for all of our agencies to buy in and utilize. So it's going to be a game changer for a lot of them.
I'm curious, if you don't mind, like what areas of running an agency are you hearing feedback that we need more AI to help us thrive or be more efficient?
With the quoting, with understanding, for groups that are under 100, feeling like you're handcuffed and not having negotiating power, this tool will allow you to gain some of that.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, AI, I don't think you can go wrong right now with any kind of conversation.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, our speaker yesterday was amazing, Fort Sake, so he was great. I think a lot of people are scratching the surface and understanding that they have to step into that and learn.
This isn't a nice day.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And they're friends. But, I think the UBA partners, there's friendships formed here. And who wouldn't say to you, hey, you have to get on this. You're going to fall behind if you don't.
It's interesting. I just got done reading a book, the book Who Not How. Talks about scaling a business. And before you ask yourself, how do we do this?
Mm-hmm.
Ask yourself, who can we go get to?
Yes.
But I think it's as if the game has changed a little bit with AI now. Because AI, if we don't call it a who, it's kind of come back to how.
Yeah.
Because growing an agency has never been easier in many ways, because it's to scale, you don't actually have to go hire people.
Right.
It might be just a tool AI can do.
Yeah.
Like one of the things I tell a lot of our clients, producers have to start considering what the future of selling is going to look like. People pay a lot of money in this industry to sell.
Yeah.
But if AI can start generating more appointments, you're less valuable in many ways.
Yeah. So you have to educate yourself.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by True Captive Insurance. What if you could take full control of your healthcare strategy without the financial burdens of traditional insurance? At True Captive Insurance, they make that possible. As the only captive in the nation that puts up the majority of collateral on your behalf, they provide financial flexibility from day one, making them an advocating partner for their customer success. True Captive's fully customizable plans and cost-saving strategies ensure you never have to choose between affordability and quality care. It's time to break free from the limitations of conventional insurance. Take the next step today. Visit truecaptive.com and discover a smarter way to manage healthcare. That is truecaptive.com.
And that's one of the things we always say. We are here to engage, educate, and empower our broker community, because you can't know everything about everything. You don't know what you don't know. So here, these conferences, I think, are really exceptional, the way we put them on, with the small roundtable discussions, the breakout sessions. We ask our partnership, what do you want to learn about? What do you want to hear about? That's why, the AI conversation started here years ago, with us having sessions and panel discussions. And now we're finally at that point where we could bring a tool in and collectively help our brokers
it's
with
really
it.
2 days of mastermind.
Yeah.
For executives. But what I love about what you guys are doing as well is, like, if you don't mind giving a little feedback, we had Andrea sitting right here a couple minutes ago, but you also put on, you have academies inside here, like the new producers.
Correct.
Academy. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, you're a star. You're a star.
I remember 10 years ago of it, though.
Yeah, well, I think you were a highly rated session in our producer academy. So kudos to you. It was great. We host an account manager academy, the producer academy, and then 2 levels of collaboration. Not collaboration, compliance. And those are always very well attended. People are hiring folks in their agencies that don't have any ED experience. And they don't always have the bandwidth to train them or help them to understand what all they need to know. Even compliance professionals that attend our academies and those sessions say it's very helpful for them. Compliance, as we know, you have to be all in if you're going to guide your groups in the correct manner.
I agree. I was going to ask you, we talked about AI. Compliance continues to be top of mind. What are some of the hottest topics you're hearing from your members as far as, hey, we need more information or more help on this?
Yeah, well, we partner with Kutalk Rock. They are our compliance help desk, which has been such a great resource for us. There's no limit as to how many times our partners can access that tool, and they're going to them for ERISA questions, FMLA, state-specific guidance, very helpful. And they come back with an answer that's not just a legislative cut and paste. They give them language that you could literally take that email and forward that right onto your client. And then you look like you get the credibility because you're able to answer their question in a manner that they can understand. And, that's a liability. Anymore, your broker, those groups are looking at their broker, not just for their group health plan, their legal advice, HR advice. They want to partner. They want their broker to be able to guide them and partner with them and not just come at renewal time and say, here's your 20%, good luck. It's so much more than that.
Well, and speaking of resources and tools, I know when I was a member, it's been quite a few years now, one of the tools that many of the members leverage every year was that annual employee benefit survey, the benchmark survey. I have to believe that's still a big resource.
We are not doing that anymore. This was the first year we did not provide that. We entered into a relationship with Employer.
Oh, yeah.
So we have both Milliman and Employer for our benchmarking capabilities. So that cost, we had to transfer that cost.
Understood, because I remember the amount of work every agency had to put in to make that survey successful.
And I know Andrea, who was sitting here, she was the one that really had to do a lot of that heavy lifting with that.
Great example of on how, right? Instead of us doing this every year and making it this huge lift, we got a resource like Employer now who can provide that resource. Where do you see, as you look ahead, we're about to enter renewal season, we're recording this on September 15th. As you guys look into next year as an industry, again, targeting, you're always looking for new agency partners. Where do you see this into?
Yeah, I think that the independents that remain, and there are more out there than you would think, they're looking for places to connect. They want that collaboration. They want to make sure that they aren't missing anything, be able to see around the corners that they might have. And there's a trend where I'm seeing some of the agency owners that have, been acquired, coming back out, once they went over that bridge, coming back out into the industry and starting their own shops again. Because they feel like I've seen both angles. I know that I can come back and do this better than I did it previously, regardless of where they want to grow it to. And some of them are a little amazed when they start. They think, well, maybe I'll just start with a few clients. And then all of a sudden they get that taste and they see it starting to grow. And they're like, I think I would like to do this again a second time.
Well, and I think what's important, and this might be a little different for those folks because they've been down this path before, but I see an industry trend too where somebody goes out on their own And what they quickly realized, oh, there's a whole part of this business called running the business.
Yes.
You can't just sell insurance.
Right.
Running the business.
Yeah.
And I think that's where organizations like UBA become such a great resource, is the operational side of what it means to scale an agency. And I think there's a big opportunity right now for independent agencies, because as the big firms continue to buy the big firms, and they chase that number one spot on the largest organizations in the industry, I think more and more businesses are going to start to navigate back to we want an independent.
Yes.
We want an independent partner. And I say that as someone who we work with national partners.
They want that. They still want the relationship.
Correct.
They want someone that they can call and be able to talk to about their issues or problems or things that they need to address that they might not have that, with that national firm.
Yeah.
So I think it's important too to seek out consultants and help and other people that can help them with growing that agency, because it's just so hard to do it. Whether you're getting that here or whether you're, having a private, I think everyone needs a private mentor and consultant.
Absolutely.
I've had a sales coach probably for the last 7 years.
I was on a call this morning with
Yeah.
mine. Yep.
So I think it's a must have, and they just help keep you straight. I think I always say this, my biggest enemy is between my own two ears. And I have to take out that head trash, and focus on what I know I can do and accomplish, and what I can, I'm naturally curious, so doing this job is a little bit easier for me. I couldn't do it without the amazing team that I have. Our coordinator on our recruitment team is just fabulous. She thinks in a way that I do not, and she keeps me on track in a lot of different ways that are helpful to me. And that just goes to show that, collaboration is, I think, for the right mindset, can always be helpful. It's not a threat.
Famous, I think it's an African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go far.
Exactly. Yeah.
And do you think, I'm curious, because you did own an agency at one time, has that helped you as you have conversations with potential people
100%.
Why you need an organization?
Yeah, 100%.
If somebody's listening and they own an agency, benefits agency, you guys have, and they're asking themselves, do I qualify? Am I a fit for an organization or membership like UBA? What should they do?
They would want to have at least $500,000 in employee benefits revenue on an annual basis.
If they could have just 1 or 2 employees, if they.
We prefer they have 2 producers, but in the right situation, we're really looking for the right fit culturally. Someone that has a good reputation, does things the right way, works for their clients, and wants to grow. We don't want someone that just wants to come in for the preferred bonus arrangements, and maybe they look glamorous on paper, but you really want to have someone that's going to be engaged. We ask, for some participation. We ask there to be someone at each one of our conferences. We have committees, we have collaboration groups, we have a dashboard page where we have community conversations going every day. We ask that you contribute. If you know an answer to something, jump in and help your fellow UBA partners.
I know when I was a producer at Hotel, one of the things, I think two of the biggest resources for UBA was collaboration. I still talk to some of the guys I met back in 2014. And the other piece was, I was going after bigger business here in Colorado. And so I needed those resources to make us look bigger.
Yes.
And I know that UBA's resources were definitely a asset there.
Yes.
I think that, that would be the sell I'd give any agency out there. If you are that independent ED for trying to go upstream more, having an organization like UBA is super helpful.
Add the legal, add the benchmarking, add the collaboration.
Because you got to play the game a little bit of having the resources everybody else has. But instead of trying to go get them on your own, why not go access a resource like that?
Yeah, it's a wash. I mean, a lot of our partners look at UBA as a revenue generator and not an expense. Because it pays.
Definitely an investment.
Yeah.
So what would be, Pam, somebody is listening and says, okay, I want to know more about UBA. What would be the easiest way to get in touch with these to have that conversation?
We have a join UBA link on our public facing website. You can click on that. Doesn't commit you to anything. That will come right to me so that I can reach back out, have a conversation. I usually set up a 15 to 30-minute conversation, just see if we're a good fit for one another. I do not make the decision of who gets partnered here. I take agencies that are interested through an application process. We put them in front of our partnership committee, which has one member from each of our 9 regions across the U.S., and then they are the ones that make a recommendation to our board of directors to grant a partnership.
Great.
So
And
it's not my decision, but you usually start with
my
me.
memory. Somebody's wondering, are there geographical boundaries? Like, what if one of my competitors is already a member? You guys maintain certain geographical? Okay.
Not anymore. We
Which is out of our
definitely,
mindset.
yes, we definitely have certain areas of the country that we feel are saturated: Atlanta, Phoenix, Chicago. But if it's for the right firm, we'll always have the conversation. And you never know when someone's going to get acquired and the space is going to open up. So if you're interested, it never hurts to start the conversation.
Good. Well, I'm going to ask the most selfish, important question.
Okay.
I'm giving a keynote talk here in about 4 hours.
Yes.
I need to be prepared for it.
I think this is a great crowd. I think you're going to be very well received. I know, like I said, our producer academy had rated you as a top-rated speaker.
Most of them are here, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
sure.
They'll have their own separate table, so you can you'll have a little cheering section. And I think that I love the open-mindedness here.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people have the wrong view of our industry that might not be in this industry, that it's old and it's stale. Male, pale, and stale, I think is what they call it. If you come here, you will see that is not the case. Yeah. And I think you'll do a great job today.
Well, I want to thank you for taking the time. I wanted to have you on because, again, being a former UVA member, I need to value the organizational thought for the agency I worked for at the time. I know what Producers Academy did for some of my peers, including myself. And so you're listening in right now. You don't have to be just an employee benefits agency, but if you sell employee benefits and you're looking for an organization to help give you those resources and tools to go upstream, collaborate with others who are playing at a level you're playing with to help you continue to scale and be a good option. So, Pam, thank you.
Thank you. This is my first podcast, so I can check that box. Yes, thank you, Andy.
Everybody else, have a good week, have a good weekend, and we'll chat with you on the flip side.
That's all we got for this episode of the Accelerate Your Insurance Sales Podcast. One of the most valuable things you can do to help us and other new potential listeners find our show is for you to rate the show and leave a review. So as a special bonus for you, if you leave us a review, take a screenshot of your review and send it to me as a DM to my LinkedIn profile. I will send you a free copy of our LinkedIn Diamond Playbook, our proven 4-step strategy to grow your business on LinkedIn. So go right now, leave us a review, screenshot it, and send me a DM on LinkedIn. Also, please share this podcast with anyone you think would enjoy it. That's it for now.